Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And for everybody that's new, my name is Crystal. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and the previous videos I have posted. And don't forget to comment on the video. So let's get started. Today's topic is having to live with a crazy college roommate. And this happened to me. Disclaimer, I'm not going to state the person's real name because of safety issues, and I don't know if she's watching, and yeah. So, yeah, I changed her name. And it's freshman year, and we were getting ready to move into our dorms, and you know, as a freshman, you're just so excited, and you're ready for this new journey in your life where, you know, you're growing up, you're moving out of your parents' house, you're doing everything by yourself, you're going to school, you know, you're getting a higher education, and it's just fun, you know, because everybody knows college is fun, if you know what I mean. No, for real though. College was the best experience of my life, and I'm so grateful I got to dorm for the first year at my school. And yeah, I went to CSUN, and that's more of commuter school and not really a big university like UCLA or USC or anywhere around LA that was a big top university. But yeah, my school was more of a commuter school, and of course if you lived in the San Fernando Valley, where Northridge is located right by me, like 10 minutes away from me, so it's really not like the place that people that are commuting would go and dorm to. But of course, wanted to get the college experience even though I live down the street. And I am very grateful I was able to get that experience, because I would not change that for the world. And especially the experiences that I had made living at the dorms there. I still keep in contact with my roommates, and well, some. I only had 4 altogether, and 2 of them I still keep in contact, especially with one, Fabiola. Woo-hoo, shout out. And yeah, so it was really crazy because at first it was 4 girls. 2 of them were really nice, and one of them was very introverted. Fabiola, which was in the other room, because our living space was more of an apartment. It wasn't your average dorm where it was like 2 beds and 1 room. No. So yeah, it was very cute. It was an apartment looking kind of place where it was 2 rooms, bathroom that we all shared, of course. It was kitchen and a living room area and a balcony. And it was co-ed. So in one floor, all floors, it was both women and male. So that was kind of fun. Because at some universities, there's like restrictions of, oh, you can't have guys over, you can't have girls over, like you can't have your friends, like, you know, it's just all these different restrictions. But at our school, it wasn't like that. So yeah, my roommate, when we all moved in the beginning, after our parents had left and helped us move into our dorms, there was a lot of awkward moments, I believe, when we all got to meet one another. And I remember in my room, it was me and another girl. Her name was Jessica, and she loved volleyball, so it was just kind of like, okay, she's an athlete, like she likes to play, cool, we'll be fine. Because I used to cheer, and I like being athletic and play basketball and whatnot, so that was gonna be fun. And then my other 2 roommates that were in the other room, it was Fabiola and it was another girl named Brittany. Let's talk about Brittany, okay? Like Britney Spears. I'm just kidding, no, but for real. So yes, this girl in particular was very different. She was an introvert, and it was kind of hard for us to kind of have like be us around her, because she wouldn't really come out of her shell. And I understand sometimes that's me when I don't really know somebody, it's just you have to give me time to get to know you, because I'm not gonna be like, hey girl, what's up? No, it's just not gonna happen. I have to feel your vibes, I have to feel your energy, and I have to know, okay, like, who am I dealing with? Are you worth a conversation? Are you worth me sitting here and talking to you about some nonsense? Because that's what everybody talks about when you first get to know one another. So sorry, but it's the truth. And this girl was basically, you know, we were sharing pictures of like our family. Of course, at that time was like, wow, we just graduated, so prom, like, what did you wear, like, who did you take to prom, all that good stuff. So when it was my turn, I had showed everybody like, oh, you know, this was my prom, this is how I look, this was my date, and all of that stuff. And she was like, wait, what are you again? And I was like, oh, I'm Latina. And she looked at me and she's like, wow. And my other two roommates that were there at that time, Fabiola and Jessica, they're Latinas too. And they're like, yeah, we are too. And she looks at us, she's like, I've never seen a Latina. I've never even lived with one. Like, we felt very attacked. So we all looked at one another like, this is gonna be interesting. Especially having to deal with someone basically being racist to us. So that was really uncomfortable. I've never dealt with somebody like that. It was very awkward at first, and I guess we just kind of had to disregard it. So then after that, we decided to go to like, where did we go? We went somewhere to go get like, decorate our dorm and make it cute. Just, we could have it look more homey and all of that. And on our way there to the place, Brittany was driving, and she was like, cool, you know, like, why? Like, we all looked at one another, and we were like, I guess we're gonna give her a chance, because you can't judge a book by its cover. You kind of have to get to know the book and not just be like, oh, this book's gonna be ugly, this book's gonna be trash. No. So that's how we were. And the girl was actually coming out of her shell, and she was actually fun. So we actually had fun with her when we had gone to go get items for our dorm. And when we came back, we started decorating. It was fun, all that good stuff. And then it started getting weird towards I think it was sorority rush, I don't know, frat rush, whatever. And every sorority and fraternity had a party, and a lot of people that we had made friends on our floor were all going to these parties and had invited us, and I didn't go because I just didn't really want to go to parties at first, and I wasn't really like so excited about these parties, because I already had a kind of like a image of how these parties were gonna look. So I didn't go, and I think my roommate Brittany went with other people from our floor. And some really weird stuff happened, because I think I had gone home that weekend, and when I got back to my dorm, everybody's like asking me like, hey, have you talked to your roommate Brittany, like this and this happened to her, she just disappeared. And I was like, no, like, I'm getting back to my dorm, like, what happened? And they were like telling me the story, and I'm looking at them like, that's so weird. Like, I don't think she would do that. And it was really weird. And I'm not really gonna discuss that story with you guys because it's bad. So anyway, that was already like a red flag. And as the semester was rolling, which was fall semester, it was a very different like environment for me, because I would get ready to go to class. All of our schedules were different, and we would hardly see one another. So one time I was eating my cereal, and I place my dish in the sink, and I was already late to class, so I had to run, and my dorm was kind of far away from campus, so I had to make sure that I was power walking or something because it was a long trip. And when I got back home, Brittany started yelling at me, like my mom. And she started telling me, why didn't you do the dishes? And I'm looking at her like, girl, what? Like, first of all, you're not my mom. And second of all, I pay for this dorm. Well, I don't pay for it, but parents pay for it. So why do I need to do my dishes? I'm gonna do them when I want to do them, right? And that's exactly what I told her. Like, I was late to class, and like I just got in. Like, I'm about to go wash my dish actually, and she was just like, okay, like just make sure that you wash your dishes and blah blah blah, because I like it to be all clean because I'm a germophobic and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, cool. And all of a sudden, this girl started venting to me how she got a bad grade and all of this. And yeah, and I did notice that her hair, she had a pixie cut. And I did notice that her hair was shorter than the pixie cut that she had prior to her cutting her hair. So I'm looking at her like something's different. And then she's like, oh yeah, I cut my hair because I was not satisfied with my grade. And I looked at her and I'm like, wait, so you cut your hair because you did not like what you got on your test? That sounds crazy. So I was kind of already like, I'm not gonna judge her, I just didn't want to be judgy. And I just kind of let it go, and I didn't really address it to anybody because I just wanted to go to my other friend's dorm because it just felt weird. And then so my other roommates got home, and then they started addressing it like, oh, did you see Brittany's haircut? And then I was like, yeah, I saw it. She doesn't have that much hair anymore, but it's there. And my roommate was like, yeah, I asked her like, why did she decide to cut it even shorter? Because it looked like she had cut it. So everybody started noticing that she had cut her own hair. And I'm looking at her like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to gossip. So I was like, yeah, I guess she wanted a new haircut. She wanted to go shorter. I don't know. And then my roommate Fabiola was like, yeah, like she told me that she cut it because she got a bad grade on her test, or not the exact grade score that she wanted. And I was like, oh wow, that's interesting, because I've never heard somebody cut their hair or do something different to their image just because of a bad grade or not exactly getting the grade that they wanted, And I'm looking at Fabiola like, I didn't want to say anything, but we're all looking at each other like, and I think that's how we came up with the name Brittany for her, because we did come up with the name Brittany for her. And until now, I don't even know her name, to be honest. It's just Brittany stuck with us. I think throughout the whole semester, I think she started cutting her hair shorter and shorter once it started growing. And we started seeing patterns of her cutting her hair every time she would get a bad grade or not the grade that she wanted. And it started concerning us because it was just weird. It was a weird pattern. It was kind of off. It didn't feel right. Like, we had already gotten like red flags, and then spring semester we all went to our RA and just complained about her, that we didn't feel comfortable her being our roommate and such. And I forgot what exactly happened, that she finally decided to move out. And she moved back home, I believe, right away after we had complaints, because I think they told her she had to go back home, or she had to get placed to a different dorm because we had complained. And I felt like I was kind of scared because our RA told her that we complained about her. And you don't know how someone reacts after certain stuff. And I believe in some people do try to retaliate on you. And I was low-key scared. Like, this girl legit had the key to our dorm. She had, like, I don't know, access. I think what had happened was that our university, once she moved out, they took away the access to our dorm. So I think I was kind of more we were all paranoid at that point, because we kind of like were scared for our life at that point. And then, like, I remember walking to campus and she was standing by the tree looking really weird and just looking at me like she was so mad at me, like she was gonna do something to me. So I got scared, like, oh my god, what, like, I don't even want to walk to class, so I would just drive to school. And it got to the point that now, like, seeing all these, like, different mental health issues occurring and different, like, current events happening where there's, like, so many people coming out and doing these really nasty stuff out. Like, you never really know somebody and you never really know who your roommate is. So moral of the story is, if you are in college and you're a freshman and you're dorming, make sure you always see people's signs, like your roommate signs, because you never know what they are capable of. You never know anything. And I feel like mental health is really important and just really good to go and just, you know, go seek help and talk to somebody about your issues, because it affects somebody else and it could affect anybody that you live with. And I feel like a lot of people could relate to having a crazy college roommate, because it happens to a lot of people. And luckily it was me that I went through this. I mean, I don't regret anything because it taught me a lot. It taught me to be more aware of people. It taught me to know, like, it's okay to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, but to a certain extent where it's like, okay, I see your red flags. I see that you are not thinking correctly. You're not thinking like a normal person would think. And that's okay, you know, and I'm not nobody to judge, but to me, I feel like, please be vocal about the different disorders that people have. And, you know, mental health is really important. It's okay to have these issues, you know, it's just, it's you. But don't bring it on to another person and scare them, you know. And that's what I wanted to kind of tell my story, because you never know who's going through the same story that you are. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below.